You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into episode 79 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. Coach, we got a loaded show today. Power 25 update is here, as well as some midseason picks and see who swung and missed on some preseason picks.
I have a feeling a lot of us done swung and missed on a lot of preseason picks, along with a lot of other people. But God almighty, how we hey, first of all, big shout out to the Gamecock women's basketball team, Coach. We got another national championship coming to the great state of South Carolina. So big shout out to Coach Staley and her crew, and whipping up on Caitlin Clark, and phenomenal run by those girls. But big shock, Dawn Staley wins another. Little old South Carolina doing it again.
That's what we always do. We just do it.
Just
Nike headquarters, just do it. It's not working out in Oregon. Weekly storylines, Coach. Stories are some stories are out, some stories on the way. The big week last week with some spring break tournaments. Did get a upset game in the mix there as well.
Yeah. Busy week last week, running around catching some spring break tournaments. Myself, I was floating around between the Forest Acres Classic for a couple of days, and then dodging some severe thunderstorms and rain showers down here on Wednesday for the SC Diamond Invitational. So a lot of talented teams, and a lot of teams I would say that are kind of on the upswing in this area, that I don't know if I would want to play getting into postseason ball. There's going to be some upsets running into there, but it was beautiful weather at the beginning of the week, dodging some storms in the back end of the week, but still being able to get in that. I'll give you this one. We always talk about, people doing different things and doing their own, but big shout out for the Diamond Invitational, right? Being held at beautiful Blythewood with hands down one of the best hospitality suites out there. But having to get that thing pushed back and trying to play 4 games in a day, being able to slide over for 2 games at Lexington High School with Coach Hucks and the boys over there, being able to host 2 games over there, to be able to have those guys get in those games and not having to try to play a baseball game at midnight. So big shout out to the to the staff over there, and obviously the administration, being able to host the games over there and then flip it back over to Blythewood the rest of the way. So a lot of talented players, a lot of talented teams, and kind of right. We'll get into this here in a little bit when we kind of get into these rankings, but some teams kind of starting to turn the corner and making some runs, and some other ones kind of been floundering around there and starting to pick up some steam as we're getting in the final stretch here. And I like I said, I don't know if I want to be playing some of these teams as you get into playoff baseball, that are some of these guys that are young and kind of getting their feet underneath them and turning the corner. So we'll dive into some of those. Don't want to get too much into it now, but yeah, it was a lot of fun watching some of the talented crew. And if it wasn't for my lack of experience with some technology, PBSC didn't miss much, but due to me as Sammy Esposito, we missed a little bit, but because of my lack of technology feel for that part. But we were all over it. Had somebody ask me, they go, PBSC's 1 pitch too later, and I go, no, we ain't. No, we ain't. We caught that home run. So
we're 1 pitch ahead, as we like to call it. Coach, I don't even know what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought here. Oh, we're probably going to piss some people off here in a minute as we roll out this Power 25. But adding to the weekly storyline, I think, Coach, someone correctly picked the hit tournament champion.
Hey, Austin? No.
Austin hadn't been on the podcast in 5 weeks. Coach, I'm still waiting on my Hanahan gear. I hadn't picked him to lose, and still hadn't sent me anything. So
what was it? What that stat? It was the first time in 54 years of their own tournament, was it?
Yeah.
And they won it 54 years, their own tournament. and they got it done.
They
Big shout out
the best
to
for this
man.
year. He's a big run here. We'll look at them as we get to the mid-season picks too.
Wait a minute now, but God Almighty, they just keep doing it. Not like it's a shock. I mean, we got a chance to watch those boys early for an entire, extended weekend. I mean, it ain't a shock that they just keep winning. They're as talented as anyone out there. I don't care what classification they're in. They're as talented anyway. They'd be at the top of any of them, and they just keep doing it again. And big tournament, in-state teams, out-of-state teams, they just keep winning.
Coach, they had a player that had a week, and maybe you viewers will get to vote for him here soon. We'll see.
I don't. I mean, we're going to go ahead and call it a runaway, but we'll let
everybody else
on this one. We'll let them pick on it, but we won't say too much on that one.
Hey,
I can go ahead and tell you, I already got the graphic on my phone today, so
we're already prepped. Unless people shock us. The Prep Baseball SC Bomb Squad of the Week goes to Mitch Wilson, Coach. You got to see him. You cut his head off in one video, but did get the other video 2 in one game.
2 in one game, Coach. He had a big week. I think he ended up with 3 on the weekend. I might be off one on there, but big weekend for him. Down here at Forest Acres here, they at beautiful AC Flora, and he hit 2, and he hit them to dead center. And if you ain't never been to AC Flora, they got that extremely high fence. Not to say it's like the deepest park in the world, but you hit one over that wall. He caught a fastball and hit one 500 feet over that fence to dead center. And the next at-bat catches a breaking ball out in front and launches one over that fence. And the coolest thing, I'm going to go ahead and throw a shout-out to Mitch Wilson right here. My son was with me for 2 days running around over there, and he had a couple buddies around there, and especially on day 2 when he hit the 2 home runs, my son and his buddy were running around chasing all the foul balls and home run balls. And again, if you ain't ever been to AC Flora, it's like a forest out there. And they dig into the woods, and forest, and they come back with 2 baseballs. I don't know if there is, or Bo Hollins or somebody else that hit some home runs. And they come back, and Mitch, big shout out to him. He signed the baseball for those boys, and they claimed that they were the home runs that he came back with. So big shout out to Mitch with the PBSC Bomb Squad of the Week. Got 2 of them. I apologize to him, I think, before his last home run, and said, "Hey, I apologize. I cut your head off." And then he came up to me, goes, "Did you get that last one too?" I go, "You know it." He goes, "You about the only one who gets them." So big shout out to Mitch on that one.
Well, if you see me and Sammy there, just know we probably will not miss any bombs anymore. With the new technological upgrade, just know that PBSC was first. If anything else comes down the pipeline,
if you ain't first,
we're always first. Pitcher of the week, Coach, was Caleb Coker at East Clarendon. Your boy, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 12 Ks. He wins the vote. I think he had won around upwards of 50% of the vote, if I'm correct, Coach.
Big shout out, Cujo, Coach Johnson back in his day. He'd have collected a few of those himself. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to the boys down there. And again, that was a tight one. That was a tight on the voting scale. This one
was not tight at all.
Not tight at all.
For hitter of the week with Jackson Mullen at Catawba Ridge, 636 average. Not sure if that's good, but 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. The vote was 91%. Maybe it was this week, may be different.
Yeah, that one was over again. One of these was over like real quick at night. So it was we could have had that graphic made real fast as well. So but big shout out to Jackson Mullen, Catawba Ridge, big shot. They keep winning, keep pummeling people. And I mean he's one of those, he's gonna get a hitter, he's bound to get a pitcher of the week here too soon, I feel like. So no hints right there at anything right now. I'm just saying for his abilities.
Coach, you never know who knows?
You never do.
But now's the time. Make sure Player of the Week's voting be coming out on Monday, correct, Coach? Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. We got. Hey, get those votes in. Get those votes in. We got. Again, we're off to another good one. The emails are out tonight to the high school coaches. The links have been obviously out there all over social media. These have been fun. These have been. We say it each week, but these are fun for us to dig through. And it's even more fun for us to kind of look and see see where these votes are going. We have an idea where they're going to kind of go, but you never know, right? Which way it's going to go and how the votes go. But it's fun to kind of see the interaction, how these break out, and see what the people are going to pick.
Coach, it's that time. And if you look down at that bottom corner down there, you'll see the Power 25 logo as we unveil I believe this is, Coach, I feel like I've lost track here. This is the 4th update with the initial 2 other updates. And then today, going every 2 weeks. Coach, how do you become ranked at this point?
You just win a few less. You lose. If you're in 5A baseball, you just lose a few less than the people in front of you. So
5A has been a roller coaster, Coach.
5A has been the biggest roller coaster. I think Austin, last time I did this when he was on here, he went with a glass half full. I went with half empty. So it'd have been interesting to see his take on this one. There is a couple teams that are starting to separate themselves in that 5A. I will tell you, there's some teams in that 4A that are really separating themselves from everybody in the state, regardless of classification, that we're about to get to. But God almighty, at the end of the day, all that matters is wins and losses. Don't matter who's on that roster. Don't matter who's pitching, hitting. If you ain't winning, you're losing.
Or you're learning. Anyway, here we go as we drop the Power 25 to 21 here. Mid Carolina coming in at 25. We have Greenville, previously not ranked at 24. Another not ranked team previously at 23 is the Belton Honeypath Bears. And then at 22, not ranked, is Buford. And then 21, Camden. Coach, I think the biggest one to me stands out is Buford. They're young core, but they're 14-1, and they're winning they're leading a really good division region. So watch out for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you got a chance to watch them a couple weeks ago. You came away obviously impressed, and they've continued to keep winning and doing the right things. And maybe we're a little, a week or so behind getting them in there, but obviously they're winning and do it. And same with BHP and Greenville, right? Another team, right? They just keep doing it. So these teams some teams kind of in, kind of out, bouncing around, and some new teams coming in there. So obviously a good group down here that kind of sliding in there, bouncing around, and or some new teams to the ranking. So watch out now. They're started from the bottom, now they're here. Watch out now.
Watch out, Coach. Greenville 13-4 sneaking in as well. We moved to 20-16 here. 20 Fort Mill, 19 Gilbert, 18 Wando sneaking in after not being ranked with a big week, defeating Berkeley 2 out of 3. And it ain't easy playing easily at 17. And then the Blue Ridge Tigers come in at 16. Wando, we've seen them coach. He started the year 25th. Kind of had a bumpy way to the midseason, but here they are again.
Yeah, obviously a very talented team that played a kind of a tough schedule early on, kind of figuring some things out. Kind of and not kind of, but an experienced group that's kind of getting their groove going here and looking to finish up strong and getting it going at the right time for those boys. But they got the pieces to make some noise, and they look like they're kind of getting it going at the right time.
Hey, last week we talked about who would get their first losses between Easley and James Island. They both take L's.
They both did it.
But James Island takes one out of state. Easley takes one of 2 out of state. So we have no more undefeateds on the board. None.
We went ahead and gave them the jinx right away.
You guys owe us $5. Okay. 15-11 here before we start unveiling them one by one. At 15 is Boiling Springs. They've also shot up previously. They were 14th. They fall 1, but after being not ranked to start the year. Gray Collegiate continues to rise at 15-1. They're at 14 now. Airport, another team we talked about last week. They're 16-3. They move up 6 spots. River Bluff to 12 and Berkeley to 11. Berkeley made it to the HIT championship to face none other than the Fighting Stewie Hawks. So you can't be Hanahan. That's just the moral of the
They don't
story
count.
here.
They don't count.
So we got 3 5A teams in this little area, Coach.
Yeah, got a chance to watch River Bluff this past week play a couple games. Same with Airport, and they matched off with a great game. Day 2 over there at the Forest Acres Classic, and River Bluff coming out on top. But it's 2 teams that are a little bit different how they approach Airport. Heck, I think they're already done with their region play already, with 7 games left in the season. But it's a talented group that's scrappy and kind of do all the right things. River Bluff has some big star power, but some of those inexperienced guys, I hate calling them younger guys because it's some older guys that are in the lineup that just haven't had to play as much over the past couple of years. They're starting to become experienced and starting to figure some things out and playing obviously, a very difficult, schedule to this point in the season. And obviously, played a very challenging week 2 weeks ago against Lexington. And Coach Bonnet going to get them boys rolling into the playoffs, getting them going right. So it's this is a good group right here. They're right there in the middle, and which way they're going to go, but they all got talented rosters that can beat anybody any given night.
That 5A conglomerate right there who's going to separate themselves.
There they go.
As we got 3 5A teams left on the board here, Coach. Moving up to number 10, big shock for us, right? And that is Fox Creek moving into 10. They're previously 12. They are 13-2. Did take an L to Batesburg-Leesville, who you just may find in the 2A rankings once they release.
Get that subscription.
Watch out. Get that subscription. But Fox Creek at 10, they're in the top 10, a 2A team in the top 10. But obviously, no shock. We know they have the arm strength and a good team to do it.
They've been in there from the get, right? I think we're
the first.
We'll go ahead and pat ourselves on the back on this one. We've had the boys in there from the get go. A talented roster. Sitting down there, kind of middle of nowhere down there towards Aiken over there. They got arm strength. They got athleticism. That has a deep roster in there. So, they got an arm on Tuesday that can compete and beat anybody in the state. So, and they got other guys out there. So they're as good as heck anybody that they're going to throw at them and compete against them all.
Watch out, Predators. Number 9, get off of my back, Landon Penfield, is Blythewood. But they stay the same. They did make it to the Diamond Invitational Championship to play a team who we'll get to here shortly. They're at 13-5, a team that just wins.
They do. They find ways. And here's a scary thing, I guess, for them in a good way. They're starting to get a couple arms back. It's kind of been their knock. They're short pitching. They kind of bludgeon some people to death. Hitting some home runs. The game I was at the other day, the wind was howling straight in. It was starting to get cold. They hit 2 home runs out of the ballpark through the wind like it's nothing. And they're starting to get some of those arms back. A couple guys, I think John Collins throws a complete game the other day. And they're starting to get a couple of those pieces back. They're not going to get them all back. Penfield's still sitting over there, finally got his face mask off. So he's looking pretty again, so he don't have to worry about that. But he's not going to be on the mound, as a word on the street. But they're starting getting a couple guys back. So watch out with Blythewood as they get a few more pieces back. But that offensive lineup's scary for those guys, and they can swing the bat. They can steal some bases. They play good defense. They get a couple of those arms in there, and sky can be the limit for those guys.
John Collins, probably one of my favorite pitchers ever after watching him at the Shipyard one summer. We'll just stop it right there. Love to see that guy pitch. Wish he would do some more stuff.
Got some moxie
on the mound, but
got some moxie.
I don't even know if moxie's the word for that kid. It's a little extra, but it's great. It's a 10 out of 10 show. Moving to number 8 is the Crescent Tigers. They're up from 10, Coach, at 13-3. Looks like they're going to win that region. I might have just jinxed them. Who knows, guys? But obviously, with Linker and Carson Roberts on the mound, they've got a shot to win every game.
Yeah, you got two dudes there that, kind of like we were talking about with Fox Creek a little bit. You got guys that give you a chance to win and compete in every single game you're in. So talented arm strength, but those guys can also swing the bat a little bit and be able to score runs in different ways. And you did jinx him, so we'll go ahead and apologize to Crescent right now. But
Sorry, Coach. Sorry, Coach Carson.
We'll go ahead and apologize to the boys.
If you're watching, I apologize. But the
If not, you should have been. If not, you should have been watching.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Best damn podcast in the state. Now, number 7. Better than the Spurs Up show as we move to 7 here. And 7.
Little nicer.
Just a little nicer. Is Lawrence. They do fall from number 6 at 13-4. But we kind of talked about this before we even got on the show, Coach. Talked about it this morning. How talented this roster is.
It is, right? Lost a couple games here and there, and it's going to happen. But it is a talented roster, that's going to give them a chance every night to compete and win ball games, right? You got, obviously, Asher Gosh. You got Edwards back there, So you got guys across the lineup on the mound that can do different things and give you a chance to win. And lost a couple games. They've lost 4. So it's not like they're getting whipped out there and doing some things, but they're going to be in there and have a chance to compete and beat, a lot of teams. The negative for them is kind of the teams that are ahead of them more so than anything else. It's not as much that they're kind of knocked down. There's some teams ahead of them that are as good as anyone in the region, in the area.
Never know though. Could they? It's a part of that loaded 4A core with Lawrence there. As we move on to some more 4A teams here shortly. Number 6 may be a surprise to everyone. Not necessarily that they're here, but the journey that's taken to get here. Number 6 is Chapin, up from 11. Coach, another big week. They're 14-3 in one of arguably the toughest regions in the state.
Yeah, it's taken us a little while to get on the Chapin train. I don't know why. Maybe we can blast ourselves on that one, but it's an older team. That kind of can do some things. They got a very gifted catcher behind the plate who can catch and throw. He can swing the bat. They got older guys at the mound that can spin breaking balls, that can really pitch and can do some things. And, more importantly, they win games and they find ways to win games and they can do it in different ways. And again, they're another one of those teams that's played a difficult schedule to this point, and yet they just keep winning them. So they're sliding their way up there. They keep creeping up there. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of shake out when they roll into these playoffs where they end up. But they kind of got the pieces of the puzzle to make a deep run in the playoffs as we get into it.
Who knows? Not us.
Not us.
Number 5, Coach. This is the tricky one. Chapin did beat this team 2 out of 3, but however, this team is like if they were in March Madness, they'd win every year with this exact team, and that's 5. Number 5, Lexington. Coach, they are 17-6 with the Optera Championship and the Diamond Invitational Championship, 2 tournaments that aren't very light on talent.
Coach, if you are wanting to win something, it's usually a tournament, right? Like they get into the play. That's a tournament, right? You want to win tournaments, and obviously, Coach Hucks, and then he's got the best pitching coach in the nation, Coach Lever over there. We're still waiting on our gear, Coach Lever. But right, like they just win, right? They have a tough series 2 weeks ago or whatever it is now, last week against River Bluff, right? Heated rivalry.
Who I
They
picked
split the first 2. You did pick correctly. I went with the odds of, whatever, who cares. But and then they play a football game on Friday. Right? River Bluff just misses the 2-point conversion, Lexington wins, and then they roll right into the Diamond Invitational. Right? Get in there on Wednesday and a tough draw and big shot. Coach Huck's got the boys winning. Winning the tournament, and So their top two teams they play in their region right off the bat is Chapin and River Bluff. They split with those guys, win those two tough tournaments. Got them in there. They win tournaments. That's all they do. So if you're going to bet on a tournament winner, Lexington, here we come.
Winners win.
Yeah, that's all we do.
It's
like
when
Coach
you got the best pitching coach in the country, he had a rough one before the football game that night, but hey, it's okay. He's recovered very well. Shout out to you, Coach Lieber.
Best blast guy in the nation. Best blast sensor guy in the nation.
Unrivaled. He's a great guest picker for the show, too. Don't forget that. Might be sitting in his car eating a burrito, but he can make some great picks. Number 4, this is where it gets really fun because all 4 of these are great and nothing's unchanged here. Number 4 is North Myrtle at 13-2. Obviously, we know the deal. They're really good again.
Yeah. They got a guy they got multiple guys they can throw out there. That got arm strength that they can blow you away with some high heat and heat sheet guys. And I think they all litter the heat sheet that we put out there every Thursday and put guys out there. But they got, talented position players. Chiefs they just figure it out and they just win. Yeah, 2 losses on the year, and I've been there for one of them. They might not want us back, but it's okay. They just get dubs.
I think you're the bad luck between all this.
It's okay. I'll have to stay in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, never mind.
Hey, I'll be at one of these teams that we're sliding around up there this week. We'll see if they might boot me out, but that's all right.
It's all right. He won't come back. He'll love that. The only difference separate number 3 and number 2 here is the head-to-head matchup, which was very early, so you never know. Things could change as we head late into the season. But at number 3 is the Fighting Stewie Hawks of Hanahan at 19-2. The hit champs, Coach. The team is coming on hot at a good time.
Coach, they've been hot all year. I don't know about coming on hot now. They've been kind of hot since the get. Their first loss was game 4. Then they sprinkled in another one. And their first loss was to the team we're about to talk about. So yeah, they got to figure it out. They're tough. They're talented. They fight you. They scrap you. They can out-compete you. They can out-talent you. Good luck to whoever's going to keep playing those boys, but they're getting after it. So big shout-out to Hanahan. Big shout-out to 54 years in the making, winning the hit tournament. Hopefully they keep winning some other tournaments as well.
When you lose to Clinton in the state championship, you're due for a big year. Because if you ever have to go to that Arby's, you have to go undefeated or close to undefeated the next year.
I really hope they didn't do a post-game meal there or a pre-game meal. That's maybe why they took an L.
Could be. They showed up late to the game, couldn't warm up.
7 hours later, here we are.
Coming in at number 2 is the Fighting Smiths of James Island. They're at 14-1-1, Shipyard Showdown champs. They took an L in the hit tournament, Coach, to an out-of-state team. But obviously, nobody in the state can beat them right now.
Undefeated in the state. We talked to her till we're blue in the face. Talking to somebody the other day where somebody asked me about them. They kind of got everything you want from an offensive standpoint, right? They got power, they got speed, they hit for average. They can beat you in different ways. And the boys, the knock with them, right, kind of like Blythe, what we talk about. I don't know if they can pitch. I don't know if they can pitch. Well, guess what they've been doing? Pitching. So, they kind of got a little bit of all. And especially a lot of these, spring break tournaments, they get part of them back into the year. Who we throwing? Maybe you're off a little bit. So sometimes you throw those out with whatever. But James Island, the Island boys, they just figure it out and they just win. And, we just a little upset at Coach Smith got the sweet hoodie and we didn't.
And talk about him. Look who is
look at him.
He joined at the right time, guys. Whoa. Look who we're talking about and look who joins.
Yeah, and they're still ranked too low. I saw we're not undefeated anymore. We took a tough loss last week, I believe.
I heard it was the guest pitching coach.
Yeah, might be.
Oh, gosh. Austin's going to love this next segment we come up on. But Catawba Ridge staying at number 1. They've held number 1 for the last 3 updates at 15-2. They did take a loss to the Greenbrier Christian out of state, but obviously they're loaded still.
They're loaded. They're going to keep winning. They got all the pieces of the puzzle, returning state champs. Again, you don't – what did our boy Ric Flair used to say back in the day? To be the man, you got to beat the man. So,
give me 3.
Woo, yeah, and the four horsemen walking around. You boys are too young for that. So you got the 4 horsemen walking around. But, Catawba Ridge kind of got it all. And they're like a couple of these other teams. They got the pitching, they got the hitting, they got the defense. So, and they got the experience factor with it.
Hey, and how about this? No Dorman, no Somerville in the Power 25. Coach,
see you, boys.
The green wave are out, and I feel like we do this every year. They start high and they end out.
Coach, we've talked about it before. What's the goal with the Power 25?
To get on base. I don't know. To win games.
To win games. If you don't win, you don't get in or stay in, I should say.
Hey,
right? Like let's think about college rankings. Everybody's been wearing everybody out for Florida being so high because they've been losing their midweek games, but they win their weekend games. Well, I have a feeling Florida's about to go plummeting in the top 25 because it's got swept by Missouri. But they finally won a midweek game, but now they finally got a Sweetville. So, hey, again, you can be as talented as you want, but you lose, don't matter. You got to go. Now, we've said it before, I still don't know about wanting to play those boys in the playoffs, but that don't matter right now. Yeah, that don't matter right now.
But you never know. Weirder things have happened. I think last year we called hell at the end of the year because they weren't ranked, and we had Southside Christian ranked. But hey, win more games. This is the moral of the story here. Now to the big kind of part of it as we roll into the midseason here. We made some preseason picks on the show a while back, right before the season, and we get into it here to see if we want to change anything as we roll through it. Everybody had Lakeview winning the lower state championship, as well as Southside Christian winning the upper state championship. Coach Espo, are you sticking with that, with the Sabres winning the state championship?
Coach, I'm holding my ground. I think, again, I'm not going to give too much out of our rankings about to be released here with 1A because you got to have a subscription to see what these things coming out here soon. But I'm gonna hold my ground. I think they got arguably one of the best left-handers in the state and in the area. So Southside till I die.
Austin's over here making changes on the spreadsheet. Coach Espo, you had St. Joe's as your sleeper. Are you sticking with that as your 1A sleeper?
I'm not. I'm not.
I had to change mine too. It wasn't.
Who are we going with, Espo?
I'm going with my boy Cujo down there, East Clarendon, baby. Let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and jinx him while we're at it.
That's what I was thinking.
While we're at it.
Bowman Player of the Year still?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going chalk it up to Lakeview versus Southside champs. Bowman still Player of the Year. However, give me McBee as my sweeping team. They're 12-4-1 after sweeping the Louisville Lions. Sad day. But give me the Panthers. I hated their guts for a long time, but they're my sleeper now. Austin, what are we switching here? Because I know you're already on the sheet changing things, so I'll let you say it.
Well, I had to get off the Christchurch wagon. That wasn't my best choice. I think I just switched it to Johnsonville. They are 1A, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give me that.
They are.
He's lost. Rough day. But you sticking with Bowman too, Coach?
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course, everybody's sticking with Bowman. Moving to 2A here. Here we go. Coach Espo, you had Fox Creek as the lower state champs. I believe they're still in the lower state, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
That's the tricky situation.
It's gonna be
So how
tough.
did I?
Hey, do we have any Fox Creek kids on the podcaster team? Are you in the lower state or upper state? If you can answer that
On my
question.
side of the spreadsheet, it says that I've picked them to win upper state, and I just don't know how I did that.
That's because you picked Oceanside, and they're already in the lower state.
Yeah.
I did pick.
Let's see. Let's pull up the video chat here.
Tape.
How did I end up with Fox Creek as the upper state champion, though? And y'all both picked
Because-
them lower state.
Well, we can switch it up right now.
How'd we
It
do
looks like Fox Creek is upper state, guys.
Well, that's why
So that kind of changes some things for us. So, Coach, you had Gray Collegiate previously as your upper state champ. Are you going Fox Creek or Gray Collegiate?
You know, now you throw me a curveball.
literally.
Yeah, I'm going. You know, I've been on the Fox Creek, as we all have, the Fox Creek bandwagon. But I'm going with the boys. I'm going with Coach Assey at Gray.
Wow.
I'm going with Coach Assey.
All right. What about
I know.
So what about your lower state pick?
Who did I have?
You had Fox Creek, but they're not lower state.
They're not there. Where's Mid Carolina? Where are they at? They're in the mid. What are they? They were last year. They were.
I think they're upper.
They're in upper, right?
Yep. Upper state's loaded.
I know. We sure Gray's in upper state?
Yes, they are. So you may give you your lower state teams that are
Yeah,
competing at a high level.
Yes.
We have Buford, Sherrall, North Central, Barnwell,
now. Watch out now.
Give me Sherrall. Isn't that the fight?
Oceanside, and Oceanside.
Coach, give me the boys from Buford. Give me the boys from Buford.
Oh, you jumping on my train.
I'm jumping on your bandwagon.
All right, who's winning the state championship? Are we going Gray?
We're going Gray. Coach Assey, he just figures it out.
Who's your sleeper, Coach?
Sherrall. No. Batesburg, Leesville.
Ooh. I mean, you're buying into all the hype now.
Hey, Coach, we got 3 weeks of the season left. I mean, it ain't much hype left. It's what it is now.
Are you still player of the week or player of the year? You did Landon Jones.
Well, he's hanging out with the surgical procedure, so I can't go with him. Can I switch it to Bradley Anderson?
Yes, you can.
Can we go there? Let's go there.
Bradley Anderson. All right, I'm rolling with Buford versus Fox Creek. Fox Creek to take the ship. I had Sherrall as my sleeper. I'm keeping them, and Bradley Anderson as player of the year. So Austin, I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, I'm sticking with exactly what I had the first time. Oceanside, lower, Fox Creek, upper. Since apparently I was the only one that knew Fox Creek was upper. I'm not sure how I knew that, but I did. Yeah.
You can't even take full I'm all in on this. It was like you just had the better guess than we did.
This is what someone just told us on our comments.
Mid Carolina, the champ, they were deep in vision and they can knock laces off the ball. I hear you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking Fox Creek winning the whole thing. I think I had Abbeville as a sleeper. I'll stick with that.
Abbeville has you if you have a subscription, you might see them somewhere. Who knows?
You might see them somewhere. You never know. Buy that subscription. See them picks coming out, boy.
Yeah, I don't have one. Maybe I'll get one this week.
That's because you got a $90 hoodie on.
No, I wanted to buy my own.
Stuff.
I'm gonna buy one. It's for the brand.
Are you sticking with Palmer there, Coach?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, interesting. 3A. Let me get back to my banners over here. So 3A, you had Hanahan versus Blue Ridge with the Hawks as the champs.
Yeah.
And Crescent as the sleeper. Are you sticking with all that?
You know what? Yes.
You know what they say?
I'm about to boot. Yeah.
Rider tissue boat you, baby.
But I'm holding the line.
Coach, now my question is, Cade Norton was your player of the year. Are you sticking there?
I can't answer that right now, but I'm just going to hold the line and say yes because I'm holding the line. But no, I don't know the stats of his right now off the top of my dome. So I can't. Has anybody out there got a piece of info for me on that?
Hey, Norton, I know you're watching. What are your stats here, son?
Cade, what do you got? Anybody got me some piece of info before I can switch or hold the line? I mean, anybody.
It looks like no one has info for you.
Yeah, because they're one of the ones we can't see anything on.
Yeah, we'll give some time here. I'm sticking Hanahan versus Powdersville with Hanahan as the champs. I'm never straying away from the Hawks this year. I had Crescent as my sleeper, and I'm keeping Landon Fowler as player of the year.
So I'm going Hanahan, and I took your sleeper, the Crescent Tigers, and I got them going Upper State. I feel good about them. I got off the Blue Ridge train. I don't know why. And then I went
sleeper coach.
I shouldn't have done that. I went Seneca sleeper. I know somebody got to watch them play like 6 games in the last 2 weeks. So.
Are we shocked by that?
No, I liked what I saw. The tweets.
I'm more shocked we haven't been back to Powdersville between you two slappies, but that's a different story.
I'll catch that another week. Hey, Coach's player of the week or player of the year has lit it up in the past week. Coach, who you got?
Oh, I switched up. I went Mr. Coaxum from Hanahan, and I'd be honest with you. I have no stats or anything. I just remember watching him at the shipyard and was like, "Dang, this guy's pretty good."
Coach, he's batting really over 400 with 6 bombs on the year and 20-something RBIs.
That was pretty good pick.
I think you guessed right on that one.
I was literally just sitting there and I was like, okay, well, Hanahan's the best team. Who's their best player? And that was where I went.
Did you not see the Twitter page this week of his stats at the hit tournament?
Coach, I know that this is going to be a shock to you, but I had to work this week.
You didn't get on your phone at all?
At work? No. I feel as though that would be a waste of our taxpayers' money.
There, you waste it every day you show up to work. Let's move on to some more picks here in the 4A.
We got to speed it up a little bit. WrestleMania came on at 7. We got to get moving.
God almighty, this guy.
I can't. North Myrtle. Coach had North Myrtle versus Catawba Ridge. How did that get put there? Coach, you had Catawba Ridge as your champ, with Lugoff Elgin as your sleeper. So where are we changing things there?
I would like to. I want to switch James Allen in North Myrtle, but I do not want to jinx James Allen. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Island Boys up there because I see the logos going to the shirt. So let's put Catawba versus James Allen.
Sleeper?
My sleeper, Greenville, Coach. We're going Greenville.
That's a good pick.
You had Jacob Ammon as your player of the year.
Well, we're holding line. I see he's always the man of the gram that they always put out there.
Man of the gram.
I don't know stats at this point in time, but he always finds a way to be the man of the gram for the Island Boys.
Well, Coach, I took North Myrtle versus Catawba Ridge. Catawba Ridge is the champs. I'm holding strong on that. I had James Allen.
You're just upset you didn't get a hoodie. If you had gotten a hoodie, you'd have made a switch.
Well, I'm about to make a big switch.
Okay.
So I had those. I had James Allen as my sleeper. But damn it, you know what they say. It ain't easy playing easily. Give me the Green Wave as my sleeper, and I'm switching the player of the year to Caden Glauber. It ain't easy.
Can it easily really be a sleeper if they're undefeated?
They're not undefeated if you'd watch the show.
I don't watch the show.
That's an inaccurate statement. You have watched the show.
I did. Well, yeah, a couple. Yeah. I think that last time that you put James Allen as 2 instead of 1, I said I wasn't coming back. Here I am.
But look at you.
That's why he went absent for a couple weeks.
Well, last week was Easter.
All right. Also, the floor is yours.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm holding with everything that I had. I got, of course, the Island Boys winning Lower State. I've got Catawba Ridge winning Upper State, and I'm sticking with the Island Boys to win the whole thing. And I had Lawrence as a sleeper, and I like where I'm at. Although the Greenville pick on the 4-H league, that was a good pick. I like that. And I like the Easley one too. And I'm doing Stowe Rogers as Player of the Year. I'm sticking with it.
Ooh.
Got no stats on him either. I need to start keeping up with stats.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah, I agree. You never know who's the head keeping game changer.
Now,
Yeah.
this next one, I think I'm just going to flip a coin and start picking teams.
Huh.
It is the midseason 5A picks. Coach Espo, you went Somerville versus TL Hannah with TL Hannah as the state champ and Dorman as the sleeper. Now
that worked out really well.
Some info for you. All three of those teams are no longer in the 5A rankings.
Can I count them as all sleepers now?
Yeah.
Are they all sleepers?
Who are we going Lower State? Who are we going Upper State?
Ugh. You know what? For fun, I'm holding the line with everybody. Putting it right there. Holding the line with everybody. It's all going to come true. Lock it down.
Dorman sleeper?
Yes. Coach Jolly
player of the year?
Probably not, but yeah, we're gonna lock it down. We're holding the line. We gotta. Hey, boys, we gotta heat them up. They got a little pressure. They gotta play with They gotta play with a little pressure and figure this thing out.
Coach, that's big time.
I like where your head's at.
I mean, I'm tired of this. Somerville, win a game, lose two. Win a game, lose two.
I keep changing
the same way.
Here.
Let's go. Dorman's starting to figure it out. Let's go.
Of course, they're starting to figure it out. I'm going to make a lot of people happy right now.
Do it.
Blythewood.
Give me, as my Lower State champ, the Wando Warriors.
Ooh.
Give me, as my Upper State champ, the Blythewood Bengals.
Wow,
Give me, as my state champion, the Wando Warriors in a crazy 5A this year. Coach, it's time. It's time to switch everything back up. And
even though we just talked about giving Lexington, having them win the tournament.
I had Chapin in Lexington, and then I kept switching my picks. That's why I just went Wando. They're nice and steady. I'm still going to stick with JL Man as my sleeper just because of the arm barn that they have, and maybe they can figure it out at the plate. Coach, this is tough here for Player of the Year. I had Will Craddock. You know what? Wando, big year. Give me Max Whitmer.
Slide ball. Here we come, baby.
Player of the Year.
Somebody going to commit him? What do we got going on here?
A lot of Austin, you're up.
I went, and if they're not playing in Lower State this year, somebody might want to tell me. I picked Lexington to win Lower State. Are they lower? They are still lower, right?
I think that region's tricky. I don't know how it flips like in 2 and 2. I don't.
I haven't.
Lower or upper guys.
We're going with them lower, and if they're not, then I just lost. I guess. They've won every tournament they've played in. Yeah, okay. I mean they win everything they play in, and they got at least our favorite pitching coach in the state. I would say he's the best, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. He's our favorite. And then I went JL Man Upper State because I'm with you. I think they have the arms, and eventually they're going to figure it out. Mainly, I didn't know who else I was going to pick. So That's where we went. I had Wando as my sleeper at the beginning of the year, and I'm
You're looking pretty smart.
sticking with them. I don't know if we can consider them sleepers still or not, but I'm gonna stick with that. And what else do I got left? Oh, champion.
Player
I
of the
got
year.
Lexington. I got
Lexington's
Lexington winning the whole thing. I think I had Bo Hollins as my player of the year.
You did. He's no longer
Yeah.
a two-way right now, so that's kind of hurt you.
Nolan Boyd.
Yeah, give me him.
Anyway,
I was very unprepared for this. Here I am.
well, you know,
Well, you did
Our
show up
meet-
30 minutes late, but it's okay.
our mid-season picks are in. The next time we'll do this is when the brackets are released. We can change if we want. Then we'll know exactly who's lower and upper here. So some changes to the mid-season picks, which takes us to our last part here. Series of the week. We've got 2 3-game series of the week. It's Catawba Ridge versus Indian. Take us away with the predictions, but I'll start with a Catawba Ridge sweep.
Catawba Ridge sweep.
Give me Catawba Ridge sweep.
Mm.
I wanted
It's
to
hard
get 2
for
out of
Austin
3, but
to go with us.
y'all made fun of me last time, so I'm not doing it.
Because you said a split.
Well, one team, each team won the game. That's what else do you want me to say? It's a split, right? 1-1.
But they play 3.
This
Not
is a
that
split.
series.
So we got a
We
three-way.
might get a split here. We might get a
sweep.
rain out. How about that?
Then okay.
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 Give me Catawba Ridge 1, Indian
He's
Land
going
1,
for
and
a
rain 1.
split and a rain out. That's what Austin's going with. That's plus 1 million odds.
Mother Nature gets 1.
Our 2-game series of the week, we're keeping it in 1A like last time, and it's Latta versus Lakeview. I'm going. Coach Furlong is going to have his boys ready, and they're going to sweep the Latta Vikings.
Coach, nobody does 1A baseball like PBSC. I'm going Lakeview, Sweetville. Sorry, Latta.
Split.
Banana split. Austin banana
This
split.
is why I don't understand why y'all are making fun of me for picking a split. It's a 2-game series. Each team can win a game, and it's a split.
You picked the safe route.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not be dangerous?
Scared money loses money.
Well, we ain't got no
Don't
money.
make money. Yeah.
But scared money don't lose no money.
The Richburg crotch rockets told me to be bold and dangerous when I make picks, so I'm going to stick with my bold and dangerous picks here.
Starting to lose it.
Be all right. So hey, that's going to wrap us up, Coach. We got upwards of 600 viewers tonight.
Wow.
I think just because Austin joined this beautiful show.
Joined us. Big shout out to the loyal. You know what? I will show big shout out to our awesome fans out there. Right, I was floating around the Forest Acres Classic last week, and my son comes up, and a couple of his buddies comes up, and they keep coming to me, and their older brothers running around playing for teams. Go, hey, we love listening to your show. We love listening to your show. So big shout out to you guys out there listening to stuff. Sometimes we try not to take ourselves too serious and have a good time with this and have some fun. But big shout out to you guys for keep listening to this thing and having this thing rolling and us just getting on here and having a good time and just BSing a little bit on here. But thank you guys for hopping on here so we can have some fun and doing this. It makes it a little fun when we know people are out there paying attention to what we yap about every week.
If we want to do some real picks, I think we need to know what everybody's got. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes tonight. Main event, WrestleMania.
Coach, didn't he just spear The Rock?
He
Or is
did,
that
and by accident. They were on team. That's what I was doing last night at 11 o'clock, watching night 1 of WrestleMania.
Some people are watching Final Four games. You're watching.
I tell you what I did have. I was watching it at my brother's house. We had it up out on the TV outside. I had my iPad watching the Braves and the Diamondbacks, and I had my phone watching Georgia and Mississippi State, which turned into an absolute disaster.
Debacle.
I mean, that was a debacle.
Hour delay, was it?
Can the catcher play on? Come on, guys. It's not that hard.
You know?
Dude shouldn't have went home anyways. It's out by 30 feet. I guess nobody's got picks. I'm Roman Reigns. I have a Roman Reigns t-shirt.
Of course you do. Can't even.
I never knew. I didn't even know who he was until I was scrolling Instagram.
You got a t-shirt
That's all
with
I
a
got.
podcast on it. What's wrong with me having a Roman Reigns t-shirt?
You're an adult. Austin
I mean-
takes on WrestleMania. We didn't get Austin to WrestleMania. Can we
Well,
make
you
that
know,
happen?
funny you ask.
What
We can
what
get
year is it?
we can get tickets in the upper deck for about $280 if you're interested.
What WrestleMania is this? WrestleMania.
41 or something like that. I don't remember.
What are the chances we can get our loyal listeners to get Austin Smith to WrestleMania 42?
We could see what it depends on where it is. The flaw I have with it this year is it's in Philadelphia, outdoors, and it's like 42 degrees.
There ain't no
Dude,
flaw if we can get you to WrestleMania, Coach.
Nah, I'll get rain or shine, cold, don't matter.
We can get you there.
There's
You're in.
a rumor floating around WWE land that Stone Cold Steve Austin might be making a guest appearance tonight. And if that happens, I'm gonna blow
Watch
the doors off of this apartment complex. It's gonna get wild.
You're gonna be crashing beers all over the place.
I can't believe none of our viewers are interested in WrestleMania.
I think we've lost viewers.
Because nobody watches it.
Like,
Nobody
Coach,
watching. There were
is the WrestleMania free?
72,000 people at WrestleMania last night.
I'm talking about our people.
Well, they should.
Maybe what's his face that always comments on our IG? I can't think of his name anymore. Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
I bet Omar watches it.
Omar definitely watches it, and I'm sure he'll
Yeah.
comment on
Yeah,
YouTube video.
I feel like
Bob-
Sammy was a
Bob.
Ric Flair guy back in the day.
I was. My mom used to take us to Dorton Arena to watch some wrestling. We watched Stinger, the Sting,
Sting.
the Four Horsemen. Watched them all.
Hey, Coach.
I mean, what's up?
I bet Milk Dud watches it.
Man.
We got to get off.
I bet some of our boys down at the shipyard watch it too.
100%.
Cat and Eddie.
No.
Cat and Eddie's posted up watching right now.
Captain Eddie's all on. He is there right now.
Captain Eddie might be there. If he's not, he's got a barbecue platter from the shipyard barbecue. He's got 40 chicken wings in front of him.
Just for himself.
And he's just
I bet
crushing
I bet our old guy probably watches it and yells
it.
at it.
Mr. Bill.
How about when
Wild
Mr. Bill? How about when Wild Bill finger shot? Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. Wild Bill is just posted up in front of it, but every about 30 seconds he says, "This ain't real like it used to be." For sure.
We got it.
Hey,
All right.
you.
Should have got that coffee right.
All right. We got to wrap this up. We get more and more viewers now. We might well keep going.
Talk about wrestling, we'll get the viewers.
We're losing them on IG.
Hey, before it starts, speaking of other sports, who we got winning the Masters this week?
Brooks Koepka.
Okay.
Coach.
He better win,
Come out.
or that crotch rocket gang gonna come get me.
Uh-oh.
Let me pull up some info here real quick before I make the call.
If any of our loyal listeners out there, if you have tickets available for Saturday, I would love to go. Just let me know.
Maybe Coach Spivey's got you some.
Coach Spivey, if you have tickets to the Masters, I will pay you whatever you want for. I'm here for you.
You got to go call some pitches, man.
Yeah.
Is the Tiger Show coming to town for that?
No, with Drew.
Is he with Drew again?
I'm going X-Man, Xander Schauffele.
Ooh, big one there.
Yeah, I like him.
Austin's a Scotty Scheffler man.
Big Scotty Scheffler guy.
Big Scotty. I don't know who I'm going with, to be honest with you. You know what? I haven't paid no attention to golf. I don't even know who plays anymore.
You seem like a John Rahm kind of guy.
I'll go with John Rahm. That sounds good. Let's go with John Rahm. Sounds good right there. Is he even in it?
I think he won. I think he won last year.
You know who I
used
last
to
year? What was the dude? The lefty, Bubba.
Phil, you like a Phil Mickelson guy?
Jesus Christ, Bubba! I don't think Bubba's played in like 8 years.
I didn't say I'm picking him now. That's what I like. He hit that big shot out of the woods that time.
He did.
The pink driver.
I might have to go play golf this week in honor of the Masters. That's my usual.
Now you got to work. You got to work. You don't want to waste taxpayer dollars.
I can go after work.
You could go to a game and enlighten the young people of South Carolina.
I think that's on the docket this week.
The docket. It's
I think we're going to load up and go somewhere. I'm not going to tell them where we're going though. Maybe show up.
All right, we have officially lost a lot of people. So hey, now that we've been on this thing for a whole hour, we're gonna wrap it up. Make sure you have a subscription so you can see the Shut Up Austin. So you can see the classification ranks as they roll out throughout the week. So from all of us here at Prep Baseball South Carolina, have a great week.